Time to talk Cowboy baseball. We're with OSU head coach Josh Holliday, and the Cowboys are coming off a win of a 3-game series against TCU, winning the last 2 games to claim the series. And that was a nice competitive, fun series, and a good win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an interesting series. You know, the first game was a tremendous pitcher's duel with Sam Garcia and Robert Kranz on our side doing a great job limiting them to 1 run, but Peyton Tolley for TCU was a little bit too much for us to handle in game 1. He shuts us out, and they win 1-0. So that's a tough one on a Friday night. We bounced back on Saturday, and Brian Holliday picked us up. He was equally as dominant on our side, going with a complete game. We got off to a good start, gave him some room. So it's 1-1 going into game 3, and it was a little bit of a unique day, and it was a little bit choppy with the rain and the lightning. But I'm thankful that Mother Nature cooperated, gave us a good window to play, and our team responded well. You know, important series win, a tough Game 3 victory. I like the way that our bullpen responded, and I like the way that we continued to score late into the game to give us some room. So very good week for our team, winning 3 out of 4, and a lot of growth. I saw a lot of good things happen over the course of the week.
Well, and part of that growth is obviously due to the fact that, you know, as you left the month of February, you were down as many as 4 everyday players. And so I know you say injuries are part of it, but you had a young team in many ways to begin with. So how much more challenging was it to deal with some of those players you were counting on being absent from the lineup at an important time of the year when you're working your way toward conference play?
Well, it's always a challenge, and I think the hardest part about injuries is to see your players get hurt and then see them have to adjust their lifestyle. You know, when kids prepare for a season and put so much into it, when they get hurt, it's a blow because emotionally everybody feels it, right? You want your players to succeed and be happy and chase the season they envision. So there's a little bit of that goes on as a coach. The shuffling effect of your lineup and how roles and opportunities change. Sometimes that can allow opportunity. And I would say for us, some of the injuries created opportunities for others. We've seen some good emerging young players step in and do a nice job. But it sure is nice to get a guy like Nolan Schubert back, who was such a high-level run producer last year as a true freshman. You saw the impact he had on our team Saturday, Sunday. We've been trying to bring him back from his injury and his surgery smart and make sure that we bring his body back along. You know, you go from a couple weeks of inactivity to firing somebody right back into the heat of competition. That's a lot to ask of a young athlete, especially one that plays at such a high level, plays with such power and speed. So getting Nolan back really changes our team. It really helps our team. And in his absence and in the absence of others, we've seen a Colin Ritchie really grow. We've seen an Avery Ortiz jump in and really grow. We've seen a young Charlie Carter, along with Ian Doherty, step in and manage our catching position. We've seen a veteran player in Jackson Kroll really play good baseball. So you've seen players step up, and that's what good teams do. That's what programs do. They have people inside of them that are hungry, that are pushing, that are growing and learning. When the team needs them, they step in. So I'm thankful for those kids and the way that they've been ready and responded, because, you know, we've survived some of those gaps in our lineup, and hopefully as more and more guys get healthy, we become stronger as we move forward.
I'd like to focus on Jackson Kroll for a moment. I mean, opportunity came his way because of the injuries, more significantly this year, early in the year, and yet you look at his academic credentials. He's one of Oklahoma State's seniors of significance, which is a huge honor. A very, very small fraction of the senior class is recognized that way. Yeah. Is he kind of the definition of what a college baseball student athlete in this era should look like in your mind?
Well, he's the definition of what any elite young person on a college campus should aspire to be. I mean, when this guy wakes up and goes to school, he's pursuing a meaningful degree. He's pursuing it with a high level of excellence. He's a high-level member of the student body on this campus every single morning. He's a leader in this locker room and on this team in the afternoons, and he's the kind of person that I'd want to be friends with in the evenings, because this guy, he gets it. He was raised right. His parents taught him some incredible values. He came through a school system over in Bixby that I think has taught young people a great deal about teams and what it means to be part of something special. And I couldn't ask for more from a person than what Jackson Kroll's given to Oklahoma State. He is really special. He's servant. He gives of himself to others more than he asks back. And in this day and age of just anything, he's really remarkable. And I don't think it's just a now thing. He's a remarkable person. And this is just the start of him writing a story about his life that's going to be really fun to watch.
You mentioned the complete game performance of Brian Holliday, who transferred in and has been very consistent as a starter. And, of course, he took it to an entirely new level on Saturday with the complete game victory. Why do you think he's been able to come in and make such an impact basically from day one?
Well, because he pitches for one reason and one reason only, and that's for his team. He performs for the team. He takes it upon himself to go out and be great because he wants his team to win. He's not worried about himself. He displays that selflessness every single day. He's one of the first players here every day. He's in the batting cage helping his teammates even though he doesn't hit. He shags balls every single day, unlike any kid I've ever seen. He's constantly looking to help. He cares for everybody, and he's truly here to win. And when you play for the team and you pitch for the team and you're motivated by the team, your personal ability to shine really becomes much more accessible than those that pitch or play for themselves. A lot of players find themselves in that mode, not by choice, but rather by circumstance. Perception of the draft or perception of whatever's going on in their personal lives. Sometimes they put extra pressure on themselves or they think differently because of a certain year or two of their career. Brian's just the opposite. He's very much here with one focus, that's to deliver for the team. And I think because he has such clarity, his motivation, his preparation, his competition, his focus is very consistent. And on top of that, this kid didn't just discover how to pitch. This kid led the state of Florida in strikeouts as a senior. This kid has been part of winning a national championship at junior college. He's been there before. He understands how to perform. And since the day he's gotten here, he's only gotten better. So I really think Brian is one of the most unique and special teammates that we've had here in quite some time. And he's been a leader since the day he got here.
From a pitching standpoint, is he one of the more mature guys you've had? Because he has multiple pitches. He has that looks like a knuckle curve that is so effective. And yet he's almost a guy that just understands, okay, this is who I am and what I am, and he goes out and does it. Is he a little more advanced that way or a lot more advanced?
Well, the curveball's always been part of the arsenal. What he's done a great job of since he got here is he's added an advanced slider. He's made some tweaks with his changeup. He's gotten better. You know, he came in as a pitcher with a really good curveball and a high competitive pedigree, but he's also added. So since he's gotten on campus, he and Coach Walton have created a really effective slider. His changeup has improved a lot, and he now knows how to pitch with his fastball up and down and in and out to go along with that really good curveball and those other two pitches. So his pedigree is good. I think he's always had an instinct to get batters out, but his arsenal of pitches is deeper. His ability to throw them in all counts has improved. But what he does so good is he manages his internal thoughts. He makes quick adjustments. He never gets too sped up. He always keeps himself in the right space in terms of his temperament. And you see that mound presence on display. It's really strong.
So Wichita State and West Virginia this week. What are your thoughts on the single game Tuesday and then the weekend series?
Well, obviously each week provides a new challenge for us. This particular week challenges us on the road. We've been on the road a lot to this point in the season, so that's not going to be anything new to us. We know to go play well on the road, you really, really want to play clean baseball, get good starting pitching, play clean defense, and then scratch the offense together throughout the entire 9-inning game. We've seen a lot of close games on the road so far this year, so I hope that the previous lessons learned, the experience of going on the road early this season and playing some good teams puts us in a good position now. Some of the teams out there are going on their first or second road trips of the year at this point in the season. For us, this will be road trip 3 or 4. So we've been out there on the road a little bit. We know kind of what it's like to adjust to someone else's park, and we know the competition. Wichita State, West Virginia, programs we're familiar with. We play them year in, year out. New coach at Wichita State and a great retiring coach at West Virginia, so you're going to run into a couple different styles of play. But we're excited about the challenge. We've got some good momentum right now. There's good confidence in the building. and start preparing for him here when we finish this interview, and hopefully go out and have a great week.
Well, and I think it hopefully would be appropriate to you to talk about Randy Mazey, who's retiring at West Virginia, someone I know you have a lot of respect for, who has delivered success at WVU, and it seems to me that you and Randy have a great relationship, and there's a lot of respect, and he would be the type of person that you appreciate. That's my observation.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I first time I ever coached against Coach Mazey, he was the head coach at East Carolina. I was an assistant at NC State. This is going back now. This is going back 20 plus years, I suppose, very early in my career. And you could tell then he had an energy and an ability to rally the troops. I mean, they were outstanding. They were tough. They were incredibly well coached. They had a deep playbook of things they did. So I remember that was my first experience kind of encountering him. And then obviously he went from East Carolina to TCU, where he was a huge impact on the TCU evolution with Coach Schlossnagle when they really got that TCU team to becoming an Omaha-type team. And then when he took the job at West Virginia, I think it was the same year I took the job here. So we kind of have coached against one another parallel from those two starting points. And if you would look at West Virginia when he started there, and Oklahoma State when I came back here, there's some interesting parallels. They've built their own beautiful new facility there, something they're quite proud of. Obviously, we've done the same here. They've been very competitive year in, year out, much like we have. But the thing I've always liked about Coach Mazey, and will always, he's a great baseball thinker. He knows baseball. He's smart. He's unique in that he can coach all elements of baseball: pitching, hitting, base running, because he himself was a two-way player. But one of the things I like about him even more is he's a deep thinker. He's done some great work in looking at college baseball and how to improve it. He asks educated questions. When Coach Mazey speaks, you should listen, because there's always some thought put into it. And the fact that he, that this is his final season as the head coach of West Virginia, just a tip of the cap to the guy. And he's a good friend. He's a really good baseball coach, and he's had great impact everywhere he's gone.
Cowboys and Wichita State and a road trip to West Virginia. We'll cover those when we convene again next week. Thanks for watching.